Whether new shooter, longtime gun owner, or even police officer or soldier, your handgun needs a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Crimson Trace.
This is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, now available on iTunes and other podcast clients, and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for iPhone and Android. Feel free to call Tom now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN or 866-825-5486, or email Tom at guntalk.com. Now, once again, here's Tom.
All righty, still talking about guns. They cannot make me stop. I'm just going to talk about guns. Well, I don't know how long. I've been doing it all my life. This is just way too much fun. I was out at Gunsight last week, and guess what we did? We shot guns and talked about guns. A lot. Had a bunch of fun out there. You know, truthfully, by the way, if you'd like to join us, 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here, or just our one, Tom Talk Gun. To a large percentage of the population, not just in America, but a lot of places all over the world, when you say pistol, an image pops into their mind. If you're a certain age, like you've got gray hair like me, it might be a 1911. But for everybody else, chances are it's a Glock. Why is that? Well, because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. It is the preferred tool of law enforcement everywhere, it seems like. And in fact, everybody always says, well, is that like a Glock? Is that kind of like a Glock? Is that a Glock? I mean, it's what you hear all the time. Well, for the first time ever on Gun Talk, we got folks from Glock joining us. Actually, a fellow that I've known a long time, Bob Radecki, joins me right now. He's the National Sales Manager. Bob, how long have we known each other, by the way?
Oh, Tom, that's got to be 10, 15 years anyway.
At least that. So I am delighted to have you here. We can talk about what's going on with Glock. You guys, some of us are afflicted with having long memories, and our impression of a company or a product comes from way back, and we don't keep up with what's going on. And for a long time, Glock was kind of there and made the same product. And then you go to Gen 3, then you go to Gen 4, and now you got Slimline. And it's like all of a sudden you're seeing Glock really moving at much faster pace than we've ever seen before. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, Tom, I think so. This year we've had some major introductions. We introduced the G43 9mm single stack at the NRA show this year. It's been extremely well received. Along with the G43, of course, the G42 in 2014, another slimline pistol designed, around the concealed carry requirements of our customers. And, of course,
right,
the G36, which we've had for quite some time, which is a single stack 45. So, yeah, it's been a very interesting year for Glock, as well as some other products that we've introduced at the SHOT Show earlier this year.
Well, you may not know this, but when the 42 came out, I did something I don't do a lot. I actually went out and spent my hard-earned money, and I bought a 42. And I have it. I mean, I stuck a Crimson Trace laser on it, and that is one of the slickest little packages anybody's ever going to have. I mean, I know the 43 is cool, and that's the hot potato out there, but, man, I got to tell you, I like the 42. I like that little 380.
Well, the 42 is, was our first slimline pistol in 380 that we introduced in the U.S., and it's been extremely popular as well. The 380 is a great little cartridge, especially considering the advances in ballistics. It's a fun gun to shoot. That's one of the most interesting things about the 42 is it's very easy to shoot. It has very little recoil, and it's just a lot of fun to shoot. The G43, of course, introduced this year, is in 9mm, so it has a little bit more recoil, but it's still a very manageable pistol.
I'll tell you, when I got excited about the 42 was at SHOT Show, not this year, but last year when you introduced it, the 42, and I saw somebody shooting it, and I realized the muzzle's simply not moving as they're going bang, 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 and the sights are never coming off the target. It's just, and then I shot it and go, okay, I get it. I don't care. As fast as you pull the trigger, the sights will not come off the target. I went, okay, that's a pretty sweet package. And there's a lot of engineering, I know, that goes into that. But then again, you guys have been making guns a long time now.
Yes, sir, we have. As a matter of fact, 2016 will be Glock's 30th anniversary in the U.S., and we'll have some exciting things. Hopefully, it will be introducing here at SHOT Show in 2016 and continue the trend for new products from Glock.
So we're going to have like some birthday party kind of cool stuff from Glock for its 30th anniversary?
Well, we've kind of keeping the lid on that for now, but yeah, there's going to be some awesome things coming your way.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Of all the things that the products that Glock makes, is there something you say, okay, well, this is the heart and soul, or this is the area that continues to get the most interest?
Well, our 9mm pistols, the G17 and G19, have always been very strong performers from a sales standpoint. They're very popular across the spectrum of users, whether it be law enforcement or just concealed carry, sport shooting, just going out and blinking. It's been that's probably our most prolific design, of course. And when you get into law enforcement, the G22s, G23s, and .40 caliber have been very popular as well.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things I know that I wanted to ask you about, I'm not sure that you guys quite get it. You don't get the attention, or I want to say the respect that you're due, but you guys do a lot in terms of donating money to organizations and participating, whether it's veterans or police or different groups. And I was just going to ask you if you're okay talking about that. I'd kind of like to get a little bit more about that.
Sure. Glock has always had felt that there was a corporate social responsibility and some giving back that we need to do to our customers, as well as those that protect and serve us. Glock has always been very involved in supporting those that go into harm's way, whether it be police, military, and we're also very involved in supporting the families of our heroes who have given the last final measure in that task. So just recently at the IACP show, Glock donated $50,000 to Concerns of Police Survivors, which is a group that does exactly that. The surviving family members of those who have given their lives in the line of duty, and making sure that those families have some, whether it be making sure the kids get a chance to go to college, that type of thing, and supporting those families. The same thing, which at IACP we donated $30,000 to the DEA Survivor Benefit Fund, which has a similar mission regarding those DEA officers that have given their lives in the line of duty.
Right.
On the other side of the spectrum, we've just recently donated $50,000 to the Young Marines, a great organization that teaches leadership and discipline to our young people. And we actually had 25 of the Young Marines that we invited down to our Glock professional facility in Smyrna, Georgia. They got a safety briefing and actually got to shoot some pistols. So they all had a great time, and we appreciate the opportunity to support such a fine organization as Young Marines.
That's fabulous. I'm flipping around on your website here, and I thought, here's something I bet people may not know about. I think the general public thinks of Glock as a duty gun, a service pistol, and may not understand the accuracy side of things. People may not know that you actually have a shooting team of competitive shooters. Absolutely. We've got
3 professional shooters that represent Glock in mostly the combat-style matches, IDPA, IPSC, steel matches, that type of thing. And they do very well. We've got 2 girls. We've got Tori Manaka and Michelle Scuzio that do a great job representing Glock. And I'll tell you what, those ladies can shoot. And then our team captain is Shane, and he's also a very good shooter and does a great job representing Glock and showing that Glocks have their place in the sport shooting part of our sport as well.
Glock is to be patted on the back. I think you're doing some super stuff. I love the donations, the contributions you're doing. But the Team Glock is such a brilliant idea. And of course, the other thing you've got that people would know about, is you've got Arlie Ermy working with you and representing Glock.
Well, the gunny has been with us for quite some time, in excess of 10 years, and he's an outstanding spokesman for GLOCK, and, he's very involved with we mentioned Young Marines, of course, being a Marine himself. He's very interested in that particular organization, and he's a great guy to be around, and just an all-around genuine person.
Absolutely. And boy, there's a line that goes way down the hall at the SHOT Show and NRA show. People want to see and meet Gunny and get his autograph. Bob, as we look at the GLOCK, and by the way, the website for GLOCK is us.glock.com. You can look at all the information, all the models there. Is it SHOT Show where we're going to get to see some of the new things?
Traditionally, GLOCK introduces new products at SHOT Show, yes.
Okay, so tell you what, we will get with you then, and we'll have the announcements of all the new cool stuff. How's that?
That sounds great, Tom. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, Bob. I appreciate it. Bob Radecki from GLOCK. He's the National Sales Manager. Check it out, us.glock.com. Yes, I went out and bought a 42, and I know the 43 is the hot thing with the 9, but I don't know. That 42 is small and shoots well. Are you a Glockophile? Give me a holler. Let me know which one you like. 866-TALK-GUNS.
A great rifle and scope won't do you any good if your mount fails. Whether it's for hunting, competition, or tactical use, Warren has a rugged, reliable scope mount for you. Warren scope mounts are the choice of top competitors and professional hunters alike. American-made quality and performance you can count on. Visit your local dealer or go to warnscopemounts.com. WARNE scopemounts.com. Set your sights on Warren.
It's time for the Brownells trivia question. Brownells, serious about firearms since 1939. Are you a gun know-it-all? Well, you may have a chance to win the Brownell GUNTALK FN SCAR 17S Dream Gun and a trip to the NRA show in Louisville, Kentucky, May 19th through the 22nd. Here we go. What was the first fully automatic, not hand-operated machine gun? Gardner, Maxim, or Vickers? To answer and have a chance to win, go to brownells.com/guntalk. That's brownells.com/guntalk. When it comes to firearms, Brownells has more, knows more, and does more, and guarantees it all forever. Brownells is serious about firearms.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations. On First Person Defender, discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. Shopguntalk.com.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at galleryofguns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. GalleryofGuns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
The Ruger LCRX is a variation of the LCR that features an external hammer, allowing it to be fired in single action mode. The LCRX can also be fired in double action mode. It features a monolithic frame made from aerospace grade 7000 series aluminum, a patented Ruger friction reducing cam that results in a smooth, non-stacking trigger pull, and a patent pending polymer fire control housing that significantly reduces weight and helps reduce recoil. The Ruger LCRX Revolver, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
All right, back with you, 866-TALK-GUN. Never mind, don't worry about it. I'm going to ask Fred myself. Hey, Fred, line 3. Fred's calling out of Anchorage, Alaska. Fred, you got Model 70, Winchester Model 70?
Yep, 364.
364.
It's about 310,000 serial number.
I was just going to say, if you have the exact serial number, I can tell you when it was made.
Well, let's say $314,000. We won't give you the last three digits on it.
Okay, 300 and 014.
No, 314,000. No zero. It's 314,000.
Okay, give me. All right, I need digits. I can't do this way. Just hold on.
All right,
digits,
give me
okay?
314/000.
Okay, let's see if this will work. I've got a website that supposedly will look this up. Nope, we're not getting there. So let me try it again. 31. Where'd you give it to me again, please? 314. How much?
314,000.
Okay. No, okay. It says 1954.
It's a little older than I am, man.
Okay. Now, here's the other thing. Do you know that you can get an official paper or letter from Winchester that tells you exactly when it was made and all the details about it?
I have heard about that. I was wondering if that's Buffalo Bill Museum or what I have to do with that.
Nope, you got it. You're way ahead of me. If you contact the Buffalo Bill Museum, the Museum of the West out in Cody, Wyoming, I don't know what they charge, but you can get an official letter. It says it was made, this date, et cetera, all that stuff. You know what we ought to do? We ought to tell people why it's important. People say, I have a pre-64, because in the year 1964, Winchester lost its collective mind, and they decided that the Model 70, the rifleman's rifle, one of the finest bolt-action rifles ever made, was costing them too much money. And they brought in whiz kids. I'm not making this up, people. The people they brought in, the last thing they worked on was washing machines. And they cheapened the Model 70 in a horrible way, actually a lot of different horrible ways. And after 1964, it's kind of like, okay, there were the pre, which were really good, and the post, which were not very good. Now, they're excellent these days, but a lot of people like you, Fred, you like that pre-64. To explain to people the quality, how slick that bolt is, how nice those things are.
Oh, it's like glass. The very first hunting rifle that I ever used to make a comparison, when I first went deer hunting, first big game rifle was a 30-40 Craig. It's the pre-64 is probably the only bolt action, except for like the Mannlicher Steyr, that even comes close. The pre-64 is probably the only mass-produced gun that comes close to like that. They're just fabulous. They literally are.
They are. Yeah, I mean, and yours was made more than a half a century ago, and it's like butter. You lift the bolt handle up, and if you raise the muzzle, the bolt will slide back. You don't need to pull on it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, they're delightful. Well, and 30-06, I love the fact that you have it in a classic cartridge, too. That's very cool.
Well, actually, the pre-64 30-06 is now Alaska state rifle.
No kidding.
Yeah, Alaska actually voted that in last year.
I did not know that you had a state rifle. I wonder if there are any other states that have a state rifle. That's very cool.
Well, Alaska does have one, and it's pre-64 Model 70.
Well, there you go. Now you got the state rifle. Fred, look, I appreciate it. Contact the Cody guys, the Buffalo Bill Museum out there, and if you would like, they can get you that letter that documents your rifle. Kind of nice to have that. I do want to run down to Ray on line 2. He's in Bentonville, Arkansas. Hello, Ray. You got a review for us?
Yeah, the Ruger SR-22, I didn't like it because, I bought one and I found out it was double action. So I traded it in on an M&P 22, and I really love that.
It's interesting. Now, did you not try it before you bought it?
I didn't shoot it, no. I just listened to your program, and the guy that in the gun shop, he didn't tell me what it was,
But you didn't try the trigger in the store, didn't dry fire it or anything?
Well, yeah, I did do that.
Okay. All right. Well, but he took it back. Did he take it back and you got a new one, or you had to sell it?
No, I traded it in the same store for Smith & Wesson M&P 22, and that's single action only. I really like that.
All right. Well, it goes to a point of making sure you know what you're getting. Now, I see in here you also have a book review for us. What book is that?
Well, the one that you mentioned, Jelly Bryce, FBI Odyssey. So I bought it off of Amazon. Got it. A signed copy delivered for $18, and in my opinion, is 5 times better than Tom Clancy.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying it. All right. Appreciate the call. All right. I'll tell you what, we'll have to run to our break here. We have room for you on the backside if you'd like to join us. We have Roy is waiting for us. Brian is waiting for us. We got some people that want to call in and tell us about their Glocks, because we just were talking with Glock about what they're up to. If you are a Glock lover, what do you shoot? What do you carry? Why did you make that decision? Always interesting to know how people come to the decision of, my buddy had it, that's what I tried, I haven't tried anything else, I've tried everything else. Let us know, how you got there. No matter what you're carrying, no matter what you're shooting, why did you choose that? 866-TALK-GUN. This is Gun Talk.
Broadcasting nationwide, you're listening to Gun Talk. And now, back to Tom.
I better let Mike talk for a minute here. We always have to let him get his say in there. We like it when even our voiceover guy's a gun guy, an airplane guy, so we're having a lot of fun here. So, by the way, welcome back. Tom Gresham here, 866-TALK-GUN. Get you in here. I'm always in such a hurry to get into this. Let's see here. Line 1, Roy's with us out of Ohio. Hey, Roy, how you?
Well, sir, I am doing excellent. I sure appreciate your show. Now that stupid basketball's over, I get a chance to call in live. I normally get you on the podcast.
Hey, you like professional basketball about as much as I do. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. No. Right. Listen.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I tried. It's about $100. I got a SEEALL, SEEALL optical open sight. Now, this is something that just goes on top of your Picatinny, and it's got a horizontal line and it's got a triangle. And I finally got serious. I got on my Rossi 45 long lever, and I'm out here at 65 yards, and I got a 2.5-inch group with just this open sights, and I'm 67 years old. My eyes aren't any good anymore, and it's very fast. I wondered if you'd heard about it or knew anything else, or anybody else that had success or enjoyed it.
I have never heard of it, but when you started talking, I just went on their website and looking at it and going, well, that's different. That's pretty interesting. I mean, it looks like it would be very fast. I mean, now, I'm going to have to take because it's like a red dot, but it's not a red dot. It's like iron sights, but it's not iron sights. I got to kind of look at that. Now, here's a question for you. Do you sight it in, or is it fixed?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I just did, because I put it on my rifle, and I played with it and just shot, from the hip and just real quick. But now I got serious today with some targets, and yes, it's adjustable for windage and elevation, and I'm very satisfied. I mean, I can just barely see the target, and I was, like I said, within 2.5 inches with 3 shots. So I'm very pleased with it. Yeah, it's good, and it seems to be very rugged, very well heartily made.
Mm-hmm. Now, you were shooting out, you said 65 yards?
Yes, sir. That's as far as I can go in my backyard. Yep.
Okay. Good deal. Well, look, I appreciate that. That's a product that I have no experience with and honestly had not heard of. So I love those kind of range reports. It kind of gives us all a heads up. We can go to their website. SeeAllOpensight.com is their website. Appreciate that. Thank you for that range report, sir. You be safe out there. Brian's on 4 out of Vancouver, Washington. Let's talk Glocks, Brian.
Yeah, I was hoping to talk to the fellow from Glock, because I don't think they get enough feedback myself, direct feedback from customers. I've always been into the large frame Glocks, from Generation 2 to Generation 4 now. I've had 20s, 21s, 29s, 30s. And one of the great things about those guns is there's so many accessories that could be had for them, including long slides, different barrels, et cetera, with those large chambers they put in a Glock for reliability reasons, they're not the greatest for some other purposes, but there's always been something else available. Well, a lot of
aftermarket products.
That's true. And good aftermarket products, too, let me add.
Okay.
So my beef with the Generation 4 pistols is that there's a lack of recoil spring choices for them. And you essentially have to convert it back into a 3, putting in an adapter in the Generation 3 guide rod for the spring to change the spring. And I'd really like somebody to start making different spring weights for the Generation 4. I don't know why Glock wouldn't, but I imagine they're trying to keep as much of the hot rodding out of their products. Not to encourage it, but
for specifically, let me tell you, the Gen 4 has the dual recoil spring, right? Am I right on that?
That is correct, and and of course it's wider on the slide where it engages with the slide, and you can get a little disc to adapt it, but you can go back to the guide rod that's used in the Generation 3 versions, and then of course a whole range of springs are available to you then. But I didn't quite get it. I don't know of any real advantage. There's certainly they can probably measure a difference in the performance with it, and I'm in favor of advancement, but they kind of left all the people who were customizing their guns without options.
All right, let me ask you a question. You're obviously a Glock guy. When you get a new Glock, what's the first mod you generally do to them? Barrel, trigger, what do you do?
Well, since I'm into the large caliber stuff, and I prefer like the 10 millimeter, of course, is pretty hefty caliber, and I'd rather shoot the 450 SMC than the regular 45. That's maybe heresy, but I'm not really in favor of the old 45, and I won't argue that.
Okay.
But 450 SMC and a hot 10 millimeter are essentially the same thing as far as energy is concerned. Of course, there's places to argue with that too, but so generally speaking, if you're going to shoot a hotter load, you probably want to go to a recoil spring that's at least 4 pounds more than the standard, and then since that can stress your brass, and you eventually go to the aftermarket barrels, and I've even got 6-inch slides and stuff like that. They're fun to play with, and it gives you a whole range of things you can do.
You know what I'm doing here? I'm laughing because you're just another gun geek like me. You go, well, I do this. Oh yeah, and then I do that, and well, yeah, if you're going to do that, you got to go do this. And I'm just going, yeah, we got it bad, don't we?
Well, we do, but as I can see it, there's not much of an improvement. There's differences between the Generation 3s and Generation 4s, but there's not much of a difference in the large flame Glocks as far as the practical use of them, since they went to the SF grip on the Generation 3, because a Gen 4 without the added pieces on the grip is the same size as the SF. And
well, you know what Glock would tell us about the improvements, don't you?
Well,
here's what Glock would tell us.
It's kind of scientifical.
Okay, there you go. So, in other words, we don't understand it.
Well, my endorsement of the large frame Glocks is tempered by the fact that I don't own a small frame Glock or the medium frame Glock, and I know of a lot of other guns that fit my hand better than the Glocks. And in fact, back when I was carrying only the 29, I would modify the trigger guard to give more relief for my knuckle.
And that's one of the mods that's often done to them. Yeah, I mean, it's a heavily modded up gun. I was just out at Robar, and they do a whole full treatment on them and texturize them and slim the grips down and raise it up underneath the trigger guard and all that stuff. So it's cool. Look, I appreciate the call. Glock has very staunch fans out there with good reason. It's a good, solid platform. You can do a lot to it. And it is one of those guns that as soon as you get it, people start tinkering around with it. They start modifying it, barrels, triggers, slides, springs, on and on. Hey, that's part of the fun, isn't it? What have you been taking to the range? Give us a range report, 866-TALK-GUN.
Accurate, powerful, consistent. At Double Tap Ammunition, we offer 364 loads in 83 calibers that give you exactly what you've been looking for. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
The world can be a dangerous place. Gear up with the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. Equipping your firearm with laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com and receive a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge. Crimson Trace.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit sigsauer.com today.
You're at a gun store and your phone tells you about hot deals. Want to know about special offers? No problem when you have Gun Dealio, the free app for your smartphone. Gun Dealio delivers the latest deals on guns, ammo, and extras direct to your phone. Don't overpay for your shooting gear. Get Gun Dealio. It's free at the App Store and Google Play. Trigger the deals with Gun Dealio. GunDealio.com.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
At Double Tap Ammunition, we hand inspect every round that we make, and we use only the best components to give you the best ammunition on the market. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
We're going to be talking hand loading here and which rifle cartridges are best for hunting. We'll have all of that for you. About 20 minutes coming up here. Right now, let's talk to Glenn. He's on line 3 coming out of Eastern Maryland. Glenn, I understand you're going old school on us. What you doing?
I did. I was able to do the old school bore sight where you pull the bolt out, you look down at the target, and then you zero your scope in to zero it in. Usually, most of my scopes are dead on when I'm, well, not dead on, but close, when I'm getting ready to sight them in. This one had been put on by somebody else, and I was just kind of helping him out. And it went great. And then, the second thing we did, we shot an AR-15 with an ACOG on it, and that was just unbelievably cool. It took 9 rounds to get it into the center. And then I shoot AR-500 steel. We were banging steel at 100 yards, in round 10, 11, 12. It was just a lot of fun. So it was a good time.
For those who don't know, we talk about that. If you have a bolt-action rifle, to bore sight it, you just literally take the bolt out, put it on something solid, sandbag or something, look through the barrel. And here's the trick here, is look through the barrel and get it all lined up so it's on the target. And it can be a real target, or I do it at the house. I'll have it pointed at a doorknob or something. And then you just don't touch the gun, but raise your eye up and look through the scope and adjust the crosshairs till they are on the same thing that your barrel's looking at. And that's all that bore sighting is, right?
Yeah, it was great. It was so easy. I was using a lead sled, so it was nice while on the shooting bench, and it was a lot of fun. So it was awesome. Now here in Eastern Maryland, we have the Waterfowl Festival coming up this weekend. Have you ever been up to it?
I have never. I've always wanted to go there. My mom was judge for the duck stamp contest, the federal duck stamp contest one time. And Mom and Dad went to the Eastern Waterfowl Festival. It's one of those, you got to get there at least once in your life if you have any love of waterfowl or hunting or art. And it's probably as much art as it is anything else. Would you say that's fair?
Oh, absolutely. And they have, they have a decoy swap and sell. They have, definitely all the schools are closed because they use the schools for the demonstrations on Friday. So, and all of the gyms and cafeterias are just filled with art, and they have a sportsman's center, and they have a gun show. It's actually a very great festival. The whole town basically shuts down, and, we have somewhere between 10,000 and 20,000 people in here. And when the weather's great, I mean, it also coincides with the beginning of duck season, which is just awesome. So.
Absolutely. So I would just tell anybody, if you have any interest whatsoever, look it up online, go take a look at it, and then get in your car and drive over there. The Easton, Maryland Waterfowl Festival. It's one of a kind. Glenn, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate that. Ron is in Muskogee, Oklahoma on 2. Hey, what'd you just buy, Ron?
How are you doing this afternoon, Dr. Gresham?
I'm well. Sounds to me like you have purchased yourself a fine pistola.
Well, that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted a review from you. I have not fired this yet. It's the Ruger SR 1911 Lightweight Commander. I thought I always wanted one. Now I have one. And I thought, well, I'm going to see what the good doctor has to say about these, because undoubtedly you've probably wrung one out a time or two.
Well, there may be something about it you don't know. You may already be aware of this. But Ruger introduced this year, in January of this year. And lightweight commanders are great carry guns. They are obviously light to carry. Traditionally, though, there has been one weak area on the design. You have aluminum frame, and the feed ramp gets beat up after you shoot it a whole bunch. So what they did is they went to a titanium feed ramp on this gun. It's got thin hardwood grips also. It's really nice for concealed carry. But by going to a titanium feed ramp, it should make it last a lot longer, should give it durability. I think my guess is that you're going to really like this pistol. I love shooting it. It's a gun that you could carry because it's not all that heavy. But it shoots really well. But then again, hey, you must be a 1911 guy too, because I am, and you bought one. So the only thing you need to do is when you take it out, make sure that everything's lubed up really well, slide and everything. Shoot the heck out of it, but keep it really well lubed the first 100, 200 rounds. There's really no other break-in necessary, but just don't let the slide get dry and gall where you got metal against metal. Just keep it nice and lubed. I like that Slip 2000 lube. We use that. Heck, we use it for everything. In fact, you can get a free sample if you just go to Slip 2000's website. They'll send you a free sample. Take care of that. But no, the Ruger SR 1911 Lightweight Commander, it is a really nice carry pistol if you are of the 1911 persuasion, which clearly I am. Straight to the telephones. John on 1. He's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. John, what you got there?
Sure, man. I appreciate your show, everything you do. And a lot of people who listen to you, a lot of guys sitting around the fire stations on Sundays listening to you. I've got a couple of Smith & Wesson, the 686 models. They're the big, heavy duty pistol, all stainless. And one of them, if you hold the two pistols up 3 feet away, if you couldn't see the chamber or the cylinder, you could not tell they were different calibers because they're exactly the same gun. But one of them's a 22, and it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's a big gun, and
those are nice.
The 357 or something bad, boy. It's actually a 22 long rifle pistol. There's absolutely no recoil. Absolutely none.
Okay, now I understand you got one with millet sights. What's going on here?
Well, the guy got him from his older man, who's a doctor, a good friend of mine. But yeah, he's got millet bullets on him, and he did a lot of target shooting, a lot of shooting. And since I'm so old, I don't have too many elders to go to. I'm trying to find out exactly what the long distance where that thing is sighted in at.
Well, there's a really, really easy way to find out, you know. Go to the range and shoot it.
Yeah, but you spend half a day there trying to figure it out?
Shoot it at 25 yards or shoot it 7 yards. Shoot it somewhere. Shoot off of sandbags and see, is it high? I mean, and millet sights, I'm assuming they're the adjustable millet sights, right?
He has some kind of special wrench that goes with him.
Yeah, so you can just adjust them. So here's the question. Where would you like it to be sighted in? What distance do you want it sighted in for?
Well, I wanted to know where it's sighted in now before I messed with it.
Okay, then the thing to do is to take it to the range and shoot it at 25 yards. Is it shooting low or is it shooting high? And if you want to, then move the targets out to 50 yards and then 75, then 100. And at some point, you're going to be hitting right there. But my guess is you're probably going to be pretty close at 25 yards. That would be my rough guess. And then you can adjust it. But it's only going to be 2 inches, 3 inches off anyway at 25. If it's sighted in even if it's sighted in at 100 yards, you're still going to be on basically at 25 yards. So it's not like it's going to be off the paper. So just shoot it and then start adjusting it to get it where you want it to go. That's really the only way to know where it's sighted in, is to go out and shoot it. Look, I wish you luck with it. I do want to get to John real fast. Line 4. John, I got about a minute for you. Tell me about how you got into Glocks.
Oh, well, I was 1987, and I went into a gun shop in California and was looking for a 1911, and I saw a funny-looking pistol under glass, didn't have any idea what it was. And unlike a lot of people who thought, first laid eyes on a Glock and people think about how ugly it is, I just thought it was a cool pistol right off the bat. And anyway, the guy there really, really talked the gun up and queued up a video of people throwing the gun against a block wall, drowning it in the mud, running over it with a truck. All the things that today are pretty normal of what they do with the Glocks. But back then, who ever heard of doing that to a pistol,
Well, exactly. You'd scratch up your metal gun.
Yeah. And coming from a family of, Marines who were stuck on the 1911, that's kind of how I grew up. But, I walked out of the store that day with a Gen 1 Glock 17, and I still own it to this day, and I have over 100,000 rounds through it.
Wow, that is outstanding. Look, I appreciate the report on that one. 100,000 rounds. That's what Glocks are for. People try to make fun of them, call them combat Tupperware. That's okay. Glock's good with that because it's a combat gun. And I actually know of several people that have more than 100,000 rounds through their Glocks. Now, that's a pistol. All right, when we come back, we're going to be talking about what's the best cartridge for hunting big game. And should you be hand loading? We'll be talking to an expert. If you got a question or a thought on that, give us a holler. Be right back.